Welcome to Let's Talk. Where ordinary people are doing extraordinary things. We are live and interactive. With education, spoken word, dating, love, and relationships. Culture. Spirituality. Community. Sports. And politics. Let's talk. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Hey, good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, as well as our other streaming channels. Tonight, wow, look at the guests we have tonight. Tonight we have Dira. We have Dira. I like to say, always with Dira, it's why not, because that's one of her many brands. But as part of as part of our celebration of Women's Month, the whole month of March, Dira has some things going on. We'll get to that a little later. But Dira, explain to the audience who you are. I mean, you've been on the show you've been on there about 5 times, probably more than almost anybody. And
I have.
Every time you have, no, honestly, every time you have something going on, I love to really promote you. You always tell me yes. You never say no. You run a little late here and there, but
Don't tell the people that. What happened behind the scenes? Listen, that's behind the scenes, okay?
Okay.
We started at 8:03. You had a 2-minute introduction. I was on time. The people didn't know I was late with meeting with you. See, you just told my business.
So let's discuss one thing.
Okay.
I want to discuss your book. I'm still waiting for my copy.
I said
That wasn't a shot. That wasn't a shot.
it wasn't?
No.
Okay.
Dira has a beautiful book called Reclaiming Her Re.
I was supposed to get that book to you. I was down. I was down, brother. I was down with sciatic nerve pain for a week.
I know somebody who suffers from that, and he used to come to work with a cane, and I mean, he was rough.
So I will get the book. I'm better. I did what I needed to do, so I'm better. So I will get that book out to you this week, and you can review it and let the people know what your thoughts are.
I'll review it, and you'll come back to the show, and we'll go over it together, and I'll tell you if I like it or don't like it. But the last time you were on the show, it was the book release, basically.
Right.
Let's talk about that. Tell me the status on what's going on with the book. There's the book there.
It's the book. Thank you to everyone that has purchased the book from Amazon or my personal webpage. I greatly appreciate you so much. Yes, but this is the book. The book is doing great, honestly.
But is it going better than your expectations?
No. And I'm not trying to be cocky. I worked really hard. I sacrificed and prayed and manifested. So it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I will say I wasn't expecting it to do this well, this fast. But the success of the book, absolutely. I claimed that thing. So yes, I did. I am international. The
Yeah,
book is
we talked about that review. That review um that someone gave you. How did you explained how that was felt as like a watershed moment?
it was. Well,
But
anybody that knows
talk
me,
about a sense then. Like, I mean, I'm
I
quite
am an
sure that
emotional
just like
crybaby
skyrocketed. No,
anyway.
you're
So
you're 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 nobody that knows you will say that you're shy, but you don't really speak about yourself.
that's true.
So now it's time for you to speak about yourself in this book, and where you see yourself going with this.
Um, uh, where do I see myself going with the book? Well, continue to be international. I will say this. So far, I will say I am. I had a couple people purchase the book in Dublin, Ireland. I had a purchase in Portugal. So I want to continue to be national as well as international, but I want the book to lead to open dialogue and open conversation that I host myself, right? So I know it's going to bring conversations amongst intimate circles of people, right? And let me just also say this book is just not for females, it is also for males because it's a healing book. Healing is universal, it's not gender based, right? So
Say
just to
that
have,
again.
I'm sorry,
Say that
say
again,
what?
please. What you just said about healing.
Healing is universal. It's not gender based. It is for male and females, for both. I don't care if you were born one and identify as the other. You still need some healing. So I wish to host dialogue and intimate conversations with small groups of people, be it co-ed or one sex, panel discussions and seminars. And I know we'll discuss. I have a seminar coming up, my first seminar regarding the book. But that's what I wish to do. That's on my list of things to do. Um, just to continue to do the work, or continue to be the catalyst for others to do the work. Healing is my passion. Oh wait, my battery going low. Hold on. Go
Oh
ahead.
boy.
I got to
Oh
charge it
boy.
right here.
I know.
I'm
I know.
here.
I know. One of the things that Joy, you are with the Dolas and the book, and it's like everything that you're doing is like coming full circle and dealing with, like you said, the healing aspect of life, the nature. How do you? I remember we discussed vaccines before, and you was like, no.
I
um,
don't do political talk, Q. I don't do
how did
public
how? But
political
I'm
talk.
gonna ask you when a person comes to you, and not just on a vaccine level, but just on a level of dealing with, how can I say it, things that's not dealing with nature as you would do,
Okay.
like you deal with.
Okay.
How do you balance that out? And this, I know seems like a strange question to ask, but you know how people be like, well, I can't deal with two A people because they be too woke for me.
Okay.
And I know that you're very common. Anybody could talk to you. Anybody open up with you. But when somebody comes to you and they, dealing with the book and dealing with that healing, first you got to get them to understand, like, uh, it's not just spiritual; it's physical. Like you got to get rid of all that toxicity up around you and in you, and as they used to say, you are what you eat, which we both believe that's true. How
Right.
do you deal with that?
Well, what I first and foremost is I don't persuade people to live the lifestyle that I live. That's a very close person in my life said I'm no longer in the persuasion business. The only thing that I can do is give you resources and information. It's up to you to make the decision, right? So I'm going to meet that person wherever they are. Everyone doesn't choose to live the way I choose to live. So um, I no longer eat meat, right? But if you choose to continue to eat meat, then I'll just give you a healthier option. so to speak, right? Like you don't have to always deep fry it, air fry it, bake it, something like that. If you are, I don't do any over the counter medicine. So if you're looking for something regarding pain or anything like that, I'm going to give you an alternative to that. You already know what the other alternative is, right? Aleve, Tylenol, Percocet, all of that other stuff. I don't take any of those things, but I also detox my body from it. So if you're not looking to do exactly or everything that I've done, then I can give you something quick. I'm going to tell you to take some turmeric, take some ginger.
I know one of the things during and the reason why I asked Dira this question for everybody in the chat, and it might seem off, but me and Dira through COVID we shared a lot of information with each other. She would hit me and be like, "Watch this movie, watch this, check this out." And one of the things during COVID that a lot of people that I would say my energy people like Dira, you have to protect your energy. You have to protect who's around you, and explain to the chat like during these times of COVID where your energy is so high and a person's energy could be low because they could be going through something.
Right.
Like how when somebody come in the room and the energy be off and you'd be like, ooh.
And
they just came and sucked all the energy out the room. Like, could you go back out and come back in? Like,
and
how you been dealing with that during COVID?
Well, that's like apples and oranges in one question, right? So, me personally, I'm not going to attempt to offend anyone. COVID didn't bother me. If you do the research and use the resources, COVID, that's something totally different. I didn't get COVID. I didn't get tested. Nothing. I knew how to. I do proactive healing, right? So I don't do reactive healing. So everything that I take, I don't get sick. I don't get colds or anything like that. So COVID was like, all right, that's just the flu.
And I just for the chat, we're not doctors we're not in the medical field, but it's amazing that even now you hear the medical people referring back to the natural way of healing yourself. And like I always tell people, if you really know who the first doctor was, Hippocrates was considered the first doctor in modern medicine, but he was actually an herbalist. So it's very interesting when it comes to that and how we got to go through all the changes just to get. Some of us go through all the changes just to get the medicine that's going to directly affect us. Vitamin D. It's very easy for us to get vitamin D, you guys.
Very easy. Go outside. Get you some sun. That's it. Vitamin D. It's free. I know a lot of people was out there in this 60-degree weather. Get you some vitamin D. Sun is very, very important for all my high energetic people. Sun regulates a lot of things in the body. So if you go outside, if you're feeling down and bad, just go sit outside. You ain't got to lay. Sit on a bench. Sit right underneath the sun and allow the sun to shift your energy. Allow nature to do exactly what it's supposed to do.
So now,
right?
We're talking about this date right here, the Boomerang Effect. March 28th, 3 p.m. through 4:30 p.m. It's a virtual event.
Right.
Explain it. Explain it to the people. What is this event about?
Well, the entire title of the event is called the Boomerang Effect and how to use your sacred word. Right? So what I'm willing to teach people, male or female, is how to use your word. Right? We all live by the notion that words have power. Be careful what you speak, or you can speak life. And all my Christian people, it's in the power. I forget the saying.
Speak it into existence.
All of those cliches. But what you're actually saying is true. When you're just saying it, you're using useless words. So I'm going to teach you how to be more conscientious of the words that you speak, right? So whenever I'm having a conversation, with someone or I'm in dialogue with someone, I'm very conscious of the words that I use when I'm in seminars with someone or I'm speaking with a young woman that is coming to me for mentorship or coming to me for spiritual advice or something like that. I'm very conscious with what words that I choose to use in my conversation with that person. Sometimes we speak things and we don't realize what we're speaking, and you say it and then 6 months to a year it comes back and you're trying to figure out why the hell is this happening, and you didn't realize that you said it a year ago.
For the people in the back, Dira is speaking about when we make those inconspicuous invocations.
Oh, all right, with your big fancy words.
No, because I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I think that a lot of people try to disconnect religion and spirituality. I never believed that it's a major disconnect. I just think that sometimes a lot of people don't understand what a ritual in religion is compared to having that spirituality connection. So when you say like with being careful when you talk to people of saying certain things, it's because you're right. You don't want to invoke some negativity their way and or vice versa. And a lot of times we tend to do that.
Absolutely. People don't realize what they're saying when they're saying it. A lot of times they say something and then they void it immediately after they say it, right? Like, let me say a common phrase that people say. Okay, everybody, not everybody, but most people are in search of love, right? Or partnership or companionship or friendship. You know, they're looking for that. They want that. And they say it. And then in the same breath, they be like, but I ain't got time for no bullshit. So which one you have? You don't have time for bullshit, or you looking for a companionship? Because let's be honest, everybody's coming with baggage. Everybody's coming with their own issues. You're coming with your own issues to the situation. So whatever issues that you have or baggage or whatever, he may look at you as bullshit. So either you're going to look or you're not. Either you're going to take some time off and not deal with nobody's bullshit and deal with your own and resolve it, or you're going to look and wait. Which one are you going to do?
I'm going to ask you, do you think that a lot of times we do this because we really don't understand language?
Which language?
The language we're using.
Language?
Yeah, like you said, a person may say that, and it's like an oxymoron. 1 minute you said you looking for this, but then you don't have no time for the BS. I remember the phrase that a lot of people said years ago about each other. People would be like, "That's my whoa," and I kind of know a little bit about language, and I'm like, why would you call somebody that you care about your whoa? I mean, I don't know the context or what they think the word. It's a Latin word, where they think that this word comes from and what it means, but it does not. It's not a term of endearment. The root of this word, it actually is an invocation. So I always thought that was fascinating. Like, okay, we know how through time words and meanings may change,
right?
But when you're saying them, and in reference to what you're going to be explaining to everybody on the 28th, is you have to be careful with using these words out of context.
Absolutely. When you're using them. Now, I'm not referring to when you're in casual conversation about with your girls, right? And y'all just sitting around and you bullshitting. That's not what I'm talking about, because we all say useless words, and I hate to use the word useless, but we all say those words really relaxed, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you begin to speak things that you want in your life, or when you begin to speak things that you seek in your life, when you begin to speak things that you no longer want to exist in your life, then you have to be definitive in what you're saying. You can't say, I try, I wish, I don't. You have to say, I am, I will, I can. You can't say, I will, I don't.
Like you say, you want a lot of money, but you just say you want a lot of money without heartache. So you might get a lot of money and you might get the heartache.
Get the heartache. So which one do you want? It's like choose one or the other. So you have to be very conscious with your words when you speak. When you begin to speak the things that you want in your life, I tell my friends and I tell my mentees all the time, be very careful with what you say and write, because you're going to get exactly that. So don't just so when somebody asks you a question, I don't even care if it's in an interview. Take your time.
You
Let
know,
the
it's funny.
person
It's funny.
sit
It's
back and think
funny.
about it.
It's funny you said that. I remember years ago, I was telling a friend of mine. We was talking about prayer, right? And
Mhm.
I was telling him, I was like, "Yo, everything I ever prayed for, I got."
Mm,
He was like,
good
"What?"
man.
He's like, "What?" I said, "Listen, if I ask for something, if I pray for something, I got it."
Good
Now,
and bad.
literally, in the literal sense, like we just talked about the money aspect. I know people who have prayed for success, but a lot of stuff came in that success that they did eventually got.
Mhm.
You have a question? My friend Brian asked a question. He said, "Interesting. What does Miss Dira recommend in overall health and well-being?" Oh,
What do I recommend for overall health and well-being?
yeah.
Detoxification of all negative things. Detoxification of all negative things. And that begins with yourself. I don't mean with other people. Once you begin to look within yourself and realize that you got some toxic shit too, you got to forgive, you got to let go. I promise you, once you begin to do those basic 2 steps, everything else will begin to fall in place. There's some toxic stuff that we're holding on to that we don't even realize that we're holding on to.
Mm.
Take some time and do some self-reflection to realize what are those toxic things in your life. So what I recommend immediately is detoxification. Take inventory of your life. Everything ain't, peaches and cream all the time. You weren't always good all the time. Trust me. People are like, "Oh my God, Dira, you look so peaceful and now you look," and I was like, yeah, I had to sit with myself, and let me tell you something, it was hard work, child. I had to
How,
write some
how
letters
many,
of
like,
apology.
look, how many times you went over your book?
Woo, child.
Like,
Listen, it's hard work when you finally want to be better
mm,
overall, right? When you finally want to be in a better space. It took me at least 4 years. At least 4 years. I'm not saying this is an overnight thing. Healing is a journey. You ain't gonna wake up today and be like, "All right, I want to be healed," and you healed. That's not what I'm saying. It took 4 years, but I put in the work. It was a lot of tears, a lot of sweat. So it was a lot of times I was by myself. I was secluded. My family didn't understand. They was like, "Wait, now you the party person. Like, why you don't want to come around?" And I was like, "I'm going through some stuff. I need to let that stuff go. Y'all don't want to be around me, and I don't want to be around y'all." But I had to sit with myself and realize that I still was holding on to some old things that I had to let go. Food, people, things, and shift my perspective. Detoxification,
yeah,
purification.
I've been going through that lately. Like, yo, I got some negative energy coming my way, and I'm like, yo, what did I do to be this dumping ground? Like, why am I getting dumped on? Yeah, because I was getting dumped on by somebody else. It was basically I had opened up the door for somebody who lacks accountability, so
Mm,
they kept dumping on me, and I said, "Oh." So today it's funny you what we talking about it. Today I had to take a stand. Like, yo, I just straight up, it's a work related issue. And I had to tell them like, look, don't dump to me, dump to them. That's not my that's not my description. I don't mind helping out, but you've been dumping on me for a week, and I've been taking it to dump it on them because that's who it's really for. Like, that's not in my job description, and it's amazing because you realize when you become that garbage pail,
mm,
you carry it in other aspects of your life,
that's right. It will
and then
manifest itself in other forms of
and
your
then
life.
and then like for example, Monday, I got to work. I did my routine, laid down. Next thing I know, it was morning time to go to work, and I'm like, I wasn't tired last night, and I wasn't tired, but it was just the emotional
That's right.
dumping ground that I had been allowing to happen for 2 weeks from a work situation,
Mm-hmm.
and usually I'm able to, work and personal life and what I do here. But it's interesting that sometimes, like you said, sometimes we don't realize, like, look, we ain't healthy all the time. Like,
No, you are not healthy. And
like,
I don't mean, food wise and stuff like that. I mean mentally, you're not healthy. Sometimes I do a seminar, it's called the 5-course meal.
mm,
Right? So when you sit at the table, your girlfriends invite you over to dinner and y'all sit around the table and you having a good dinner, 5 courses, wine or whatever, sangria, doesn't matter, right? And you begin to eat and it's good,
why
right?
gotta be sangria?
Shut up, Q. Here you go. Put my business on national TV again. So you eating salad, right? And then you go to the next, you eating the appetizer and you eating all of these things. And when you first got to the house and you was in great spirits, but by the time you leave, you can't understand why your energy has shifted, because that person that you were having dinner with, or the people that you were having dinner with, you didn't just have dinner, physical dinner with, right? Everything that they served you was regret, was frustration, resentment, anger. So that's what you eating. You the only one in that area in a surrounding space of positive energy, right? But you sat down at the table and everybody else is feeding you. Girl, let me tell you about what's going on. And girl, my man and my job, and I just can't understand why. You sat down at a 5-course meal full of nothing but negative energy.
It's funny because I remember, the meme that was floating around through social media, and it was basically a silhouette of two people having sex, and it was basically the transfer of the energy.
Yes.
I saw somebody had that on their page. It was like, "Down, I don't believe this stuff," and I'm like, "You must have never heard of an energy vampire."
Ooh, child.
Somebody
that said it.
You know it was.
Well, we also don't believe that we are the receivers of all emotions. And I tell my sisters too, my young sisters, especially the ones that are just beginning to have sexual intercourse or anything like that, you have to be careful with whom you allow to enter in your sacred womb, because whatever he got going on, he's going to dump that right into your sacred space. You are the receiver of everything that man is going through. So now you got his energy and yours. And if you don't detoxify that womb, sis, guess what you're walking around with? Emotional baggage. Now you're trying to figure out why your body hurt.
Yeah, why do you get all these aches and pains that you shouldn't have?
No, you shouldn't.
It's amazing. Like, and I'm not dumping on anybody that believes in religion, because I actually believe in religion, but I'm also aware of spirituality too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing when you tell.
Is somebody calling you? You need to get the phone.
No, don't pay that no mind. It's
Do they know
amazing.
that he is live? What is happening?
I don't know. But anyway, excuse me. But it's amazing how when you tell somebody that, like, yo, be careful of who you allow in, because you're giving them a piece of yourself. For a man, when you ejaculate, you're like you said, you're dumping that emotion, you're dumping everything into that person. You basically, as we would say, men, a lot of men that really want to get into the discussion may say, you're giving her a part of your life.
You are.
A lot of people may think that's like, oh, that's too far fetched.
How?
I mean, that's what people think. They think that's far fetched. Like, we don't. Those of us that believe that don't know what we're talking about.
Okay, I respect it. Not a problem. I would love to have a conversation with that person just to get a different perspective, and hopefully they would hear mine.
But even the scenario you used about the dinner,
right?
I mean, I'm quite sure for anybody in the chat that the work environment. Everybody, if you work somewhere, you have that coworker that may not be a bad person.
Right.
They may mean well. They may even work well.
Right.
But just when they around you or you're around them, the energy, the room just feels like it's stuffy.
It's shifted. It's shifted. It's shifted. You feel it. You feel it. And it's not just a male or female thing. Men, because women would say that's your intuition and your gut, But men, you feel it too. There's a shift. You be like, I don't really know why. I don't really fuck with that dude. And you can't explain why. It's just that the energy that you're on, the energy level that you're currently on, the energy level that he's currently on doesn't agree. That's all.
So you're gonna bring it all full circle. March 28th for everybody in the chat. You have to now explain all the information, the sign up information, how it's virtual, the cost, everything you're gonna do, Dira.
So the event is called the Boomerang Effect, learning how to use your secret word. You can register on my website. The website is it'sallabouttheread.com. You're going to click the home page and it's going to be listed right to the left. For the Boomerang Effect, the cost is only $5. It's for an hour and a half session with me. And I'm just going to teach you how to transfer or transform your words. There is a raffle, for not Black History Month. Child, I'm still in Black History Month.
For Women's Month.
Women's History Month. I've collaborated with two female entrepreneurs. So we're going to have a raffle. I'm going to raffle off another 3D image tote bag, as well as some tea, some herbal healing tea, and a book from me, autographed signed book from me. And it's only $5. So I would love for whomever, male or female, to come in and learn how to use words, and we can have dialogue. I'm going to do some examples and give some exercises, and we'll end with affirmations, and we'll go on from there.
Listen, you guys, I will post the flyer in all my social media outlets, and let's really understand what Dira is trying to share with us, because a lot of times people may not understand why a person charges for their services. When they charge you for their services as a way of teaching you a means to help yourself. So after Dira has this thing on the 28th, then it's basically like a starter kit on how you can use these words and going forward to help yourself. Why you laugh? Because I said starter kit.
Starter kit.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's a template. It's
this is a tool for your toolbox.
Yes. So, Dira, is it? I know that we were pressed with time. I appreciate you coming on, sharing with us what you'll be doing. I know you had just came from class, and when you walk across that aisle again, you're taking the whole Let's Talk family with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You gave me my first internet forum.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
It's amazing because I actually
always refer back to On the Roof.
It's funny. I actually was looking at that, and I was transferring that from my Gmail drive to my hard drive that I keep all my stuff in. And I was like, wow, man, we were up there. The wind was blowing. Yeah. And you were definitely promoting your brand and talking about your book that eventually came out. And it's amazing sometimes. And I was explaining this to a good friend of mine, Julia, earlier, is that a lot of people always look at people after everything when they're getting the accolades and all that, but the journey is what it's about. Like the whole journey to everything, like getting to this point and really being able, like even now, being able to share your information and like
for the journey. I am all for a lot of people. I have a lot of conversation too about the journey process, right? Everyone wants to skip steps, right? They want to wake up and be where they're supposed to be. And no one wants to go through the steps that it's going to take to get there. And I'm not even just talking about, success or being a business owner or anything like that. I'm just talking about overall wellness, overall positivity, or overall healing. There's steps that you have to take before you can get to the end. Everybody want to skip the steps and not go through it. And I don't understand why you want to skip the steps in the journey. That it baffles me. You need those steps. Every time you skip a step, guess what? You come right back. You're not going to get to the end because in order for you to really understand and celebrate at the end, you have to do the steps. Got to take the journey. The journey is a wonderful ride. It's wonderful. Enjoy the journey. All the heartache, all the crying, all of that. It all makes sense at the end. It makes sense at the end. Trust me.
Um, and I hope that when you graduate, when you graduate, I'm gonna have a nice pie for you. And
Oh, I ain't had a pie in like 2 years.
I got now. If I make this pie, do I have to use almond milk?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I haven't really done anything, but I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get back to it. But I'm gonna make you a pie with you. I'm gonna make you a pie before you graduate.
I graduate in
Sounds like a
June, so we
plan.
have a little while. I'm in
Oh,
school
okay,
to be a
okay.
wound care
But
practitioner. So,
a what
I
practitioner?
wound care practitioner.
Mm,
I graduate in June.
from the beginning of life, huh?
It's the circle of life. It all goes. It all
How
fits.
do, how do you how does that? I mean, how's that experience? Have you had to do a lot of the women want you to be actually in the labor room with them?
That's what a doula does.
No, so where Daddy be at? Y'all kick him out?
No. We're
Wow.
partners in this. But there's going to be a moment. So, wound care practitioner and doula, that's two separate entities, right? I'm getting certified in something completely different from being a certified doula. But when you are a doula, I am just in there as your coach to help you guide and bring this ancestor forward. That's all I am. So, you may want me at one moment, you may want your husband or baby father at the next moment. It all depends on how you feeling. You're going to go through a slew of emotions, child, and I'm just there to encourage you to get this baby out. That's all.
So you at that moment you be on your A game with your energy and where
I
you're
have,
at,
yeah,
and you from that moment you're no longer just Dira. Now you're like, okay, I got to we bring a new life into this world.
absolutely.
We,
Yes.
not you.
No,
We.
we. I'm here to help you usher in this ancestor onto this realm. Absolutely. And trust. Do they not know that we is love? Who is?
Nah, he didn't know.
Oh my
It's a friend
God.
of mine. But look, Dira,
Yes, sir.
I appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you so
And
much.
you are definitely a reward and a benefit for humanity.
Oh,
Um,
thank you so
and
much.
really, you're doing a lot. And it's funny, like we talked about COVID, and you said it don't even affect you. Some
Mm-mm.
people, it made them turn their game all the way up. And you definitely one of them people that like, okay, the world shut down. Okay, then that means that's time for me to go.
Q, thank you so much. I appreciate you helping
I
me promote
appreciate you too.
on the 28th. It means a great deal to me. As
Definitely.
always, you support anytime I have an event or a book or a release or something, you like, all right, let me get you on the show. 30 minutes, an hour, doesn't matter what it is. So everyone doesn't support and believe, but I appreciate your genuine support. Thank you so
I
much.
got you. Everybody in the chat, thanks, Dira. And we'll look forward to probably talking to you in April. All right,
Okay.
Dara?
Make sure you register, guys, at it'sallabouttheread.com. $5 event under the Boomerang Effect.
Take care and have a blessed night.
You too. Peace.